Good evening, everyone. It's the Board of Trustees regular meeting. It's October 24th, 2017, 7:30 p.m. This is meeting 2017-18. Could you please take the roll, Jane?
President Barry?
Here.
Trustee Phelan?
Here.
Trustee Vorder?
Here.
Trustee Streit? Trustee Stalker?
Here.
Trustee Olenichek?
Here.
And Trustee Desmond will not be here tonight, but we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Would everyone rise for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 3 is public comments. We have quite a few this evening. We're going to start with Mr. Joe Fontana. You are here to talk about a new restaurant. Now, I remember you, Joe.
Yes.
Nice to have you back here, sir.
Thank you for having me back.
We always ask that you state your name and let us know if you live in Oak Lawn.
My name is Joe Fontana. I do not live in Oak Lawn, but I live in Bridgeview, far away. Thank you for having me, Mayor and Board of Trustees. Really, it's an honor to be here in the community of Oak Lawn. We are bringing a new restaurant to Oak Lawn on 95th Street called Fry the Coop. When I was trying to figure out my purpose, it's kind of hard to get your purpose in words and kind of get them condensed. So I started by looking up the word restaurant, and it literally means to restore. And restaurateur is a French word that translates into restorer of souls. And I thought that really struck a chord with me because I feel and I believe that restaurants have a social responsibility to the community to be a place of rejuvenation. And that's a perfect term of restoring souls. And we plan on doing that by delivering happiness. If you turn on the news, there's so much negativity, right? Negative this, negative that, and everyone's got stresses, and everyone's got to work hard. But if we can deliver happiness and change someone's day even for an hour, coming into our place and restore their soul, that's a fight worth fighting. And we want to change the world starting right here by delivering happiness in Oak Lawn. Fry the Coop is going to be a Nashville hot fried chicken joint. It's a different take on fried chicken. It's obviously out of Nashville. And as the story goes, a long time ago in the 50s, this man was a womanizer who cheated on his girlfriend all the time, and she made him fried chicken every Sunday. Well, she caught wind that he was cheating on her, and so she decided to get a little revenge. So she took his fried chicken, and she spiced it up and made it super spicy. Well, turns out he loved the fried chicken, loved it being spicy, and after they had kind of broken up, he went on to start a restaurant called Prince's, and was the original Nashville hot. And since then, it's kind of become this thing in Nashville. And it's not really in Chicago, and it's definitely not on the South Side, for sure. So we hope it's special for the community. We want to earn our place by delivering happiness every day, and we're going to work really hard to become a staple in this community.
And you're right in the center of town, correct?
We're right in the center of town, 95th Street, right across from the train station. We're in the same as the Cold Stone, literally
Very
right
nice.
there, like two blocks away.
Very nice. And when are you opening?
We're opening hopefully Friday.
Wow.
Cross. We're working
Wow.
really hard to get it done.
Very good. Very good. So come on, Oak Lawn, let's fry the coop.
Friday Coop. Yeah, thank you guys very much. Thank you for your time. Board
Thank
of
you.
Trustees,
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. God bless.
And Phil Barry. Phil, long time no see, sir. It's about that time of year.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi, Phil. Can you tell us if you
I'm
live?
Phil Berry, and I've lived here forever, literally forever. As you guys know, a lot of you know, I do the HalloweenSign.com and TrickOrTreatSign.com signs. It's an efficiency thing. It just gets the kids through the neighborhood quicker. They don't knock on doors when nobody answers. It's frustrating. And if you see the weather outside, inclement weather, or the weather at the baseball game tonight, you will see it's all over the place. This is truly an efficiency thing. Just get the kids out trick-or-treating, have the families have more fun in a quicker amount of time. I will have these signs available. By the way, you can just go to the website. This is not a business, it's not a hobby, it's not a charity. It's what they call a grassroots philanthropy project. The money comes out of my pocket so your families could have more fun. I hope you do. I want to thank everybody here who supports it. Everybody, I mean, from Annabella Val on WGN to the network people. Hopefully it picks up someday and spreads nationwide, but it starts right here in Oak Lawn. And if there's kids out there watching, you get your community service hours by spreading the word. All right, and we're gonna leave a couple of boxes here at the Grand Station of Oak Lawn, if you will. So pick some up if you want to.
Thank you.
We pretend like there's a $1.99 value, but there really isn't. And save the boxes for me so I can use them again next year, if you will. All right, thanks, everybody. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You, Phil.
David Gabriel is talking about the advocate development. Mr. Gabriel, if you could let us know if you live in Oak Lawn, sir.
David Gabriel, yes, I do live in Oak
Thank
Lawn.
you.
and Thank you for having me. I understand that the advocate development is moving forward and the plans are set and everything. I just wanted to talk about my experience throughout this process. During this time, the mayor and other village officials assured me that the resident questions and concerns would be heard and addressed. I believed these assurances, but was told that I was naive. Numerous residents told me through face-to-face discussions, emails, and social media that similar projects went ahead with officials listening very little or not at all to the input from the residents. I chose not to believe them. I chose to be active. I joined the Patriot Station Committee, and I chose to voice my concerns. I quickly learned that the residents were indeed correct. It looks like our concerns have been ignored. Let me reiterate that I do not in any way oppose the advocate development. My neighbors and I were just hoping to come to some compromise with the village regarding a few concerns. My two main concerns were privacy and traffic. I have openly addressed these concerns both at previous board meetings, Patriot Station meetings, and other meetings held for residents regarding this new development. I have openly stated that I felt the masonry wall is an appropriate option given the location of Advocate's main point of entry and exit at the southwest side of their building, which faces my yard. Masonry walls have been used in multiple places throughout Oak Lawn where businesses are this close to residents. I was told by the mayor and the village manager that a masonry wall would be considered, but no decision would be made. At that time, they asked me to consider a landscape buffer. After extending the curb south as another option. I told them I would consider that option, but still strongly argued that a masonry wall provides the greatest extent of privacy and security. Now I come to find out that not only will there be no wall, but you've approved public parking on 96th Street, and that only a few bushes and trees will provide the privacy that we requested. I think we can all agree that a few bushes and trees provide very little in the way of privacy. Not to mention allowing parking on 96th Street, further lessens privacy and security. There should be no reason that anyone drives into our residential area in order to go to a business like that. 96th Street is a residence street. I was also told that the windows on the south end of the building would be frosted or in some other way made so that workers, patients, or no one else would be able to look out the south end of the building into everyone's neighborhood, into the yards and houses and things like that. I happened to bump into a few advocate developers on 96 and Tully just last week. They said they never heard no such request and that those windows were all going to be just normal windows south end of the building. Another concern ignored. So rather than addressing the concerns of privacy, maintaining our level of privacy, you've created less privacy with the windows, the parking, so on and so forth. The next concern was traffic.
And you have 3 minutes, sir, so the timer went off, so just wrap it up, and I don't
All
want to
right.
cut you off,
I-
because it's
I
important.
understand you don't want to hear this.
No, I'm happy to hear it. We do have a policy of 3 minutes.
Okay, I'll
We
wrap.
have a lot of comments.
I just want to discuss traffic real quick. It's been brought to mind, I won't read anymore, I'll just fly off the, I understand you're going to route traffic out of Tully, north on 96th Street to 52nd Avenue. I have an alley entry right in between 52nd and Tully. You're essentially making it impossible for me or anyone who has alley access to their garage to get in and out between 7 and 9 a.m. and 4 and 7 p.m. all that train traffic is gonna be coming out, out, out. If I come in off 52nd Ave, I have to go around the neighborhood just to come in my own garage. So I don't know,
Yeah, sir, those cones are movable. I'm sure if you told the police officer that,
it
they
has
were
nothing to do with the
movable,
cones
but
being there. You're gonna, you know how,
if you could
Right,
find a
right.
better suggestion that's gonna keep people safe, we are willing to listen to it. It's gonna be inconvenient
but
while,
that's the point of me being here. I understand they're going
Yeah.
forward with it. I'm not asking you to not do it. I'm telling you that residents told me don't even bother bringing your concerns to them because they won't listen. And I chose not to believe them. I chose to join the Patriot Station Committee. I chose to, but they were right. And
well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
the-
Advocate will be going before architectural review at some future date, to discuss landscaping, and that could be a time you bring up those concerns, and, we'll look into the windows. At the last Patriot Station Advisory Panel, we did discuss that, and they said that, those windows were, like the end of a hallway. It was not office space where people would be sitting at a desk or looking out. It was just, it was the end of the building, the end of the hallway, and
yeah, I was
it was
told
like a,
narrow, but
a utility room kind of thing, and it was not like an office where someone's sitting and just looking out the window. It'd be very hard for someone to sit and just stare there, but that's something, we could still talk to them about, but, yeah, I missed you at the last meeting, I think.
well, because
Yeah.
we can't get my email straight for,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I understand.
Yeah.
I just want to add one thing. The most frustrating thing about all of this is that I strongly believe if I stood here as a representative of Advocate rather than a lifetime resident of Oak Lawn and requested a wall and traffic be directed another way, I strongly believe that somehow it would get done. And that's a shame.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, sir. We have tried to get out there with the traffic and try to solicit information. Frankly, on the last committee, we didn't have a quorum because most of the residents on this committee didn't come, and most didn't even advise the chair that they couldn't come. So yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
My wife emailed you while you were still in the room. You said you received the email and you still got the
Yeah.
emails.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments. Okay, moving on. John Volkakis. Hello, sir. How are you today? Thank you. Could you let us know your name and if you live in Oak Lawn, and then you have 3 minutes, please.
John Volokakis, longtime resident of Oak Lawn. I'm here to talk about my objection to the TIFs that we keep getting in Oak Lawn. TIFs, is tax increment financing. Some people probably are aware of what it is, some people aren't. What happens is the village has an area, they consider it blighted, so they develop a TIF where any increases in property taxes to the increased value of a development don't go into the regular village fund, it goes to pay for the development. So the only problem with that, one of the main problems with that is these TIFs are 21 years. So I've asked it before for the group, can you live on the same money that you were making 21 years ago? Because that's what they're asking the schools, the fire department, the police department, public works, and other taxing bodies to do, because they won't get increases. How do they buy more equipment? How do they pay for employees' increases? How do they pay for pensions? They have to raise taxes on everybody, or they have to cut services, because that money goes into the development of that property. So compounding that is every few months we hear about a little bit more residential being incorporated into these TIFs. Well, what happens with that too is now you have residents, generally a lot are gonna have kids. These kids go to the public schools. So not only do you have businesses and residences, residents, but now you have kids going to these schools, which increase services all around, all the different taxing bodies and all different agencies. So, and this main TIF right now, the latest one that they're gonna talk about tonight is, they're gonna roll over an older TIF that was on the west end of the Patriot Station development. First of all, I don't know how you can take an existing TIF when TIFs are supposed to be regulated 21 years and roll it over in for another 21 years. I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know what the legalities of it is, but now you're talking about a 40, I don't think it was originally a 21, but it's gonna be at least a 30, 35-year TIF now. I don't know how you get away with that. It's a pretty good trick. So that property on the west end of the development, you know, they're not getting the increase in taxes, and a lot of that is residential too. And the deal, part of the residential is, we're told off and on, oh, well, they were anticipating that a lot of residents that they're gonna be, they're gearing us to is seniors. And, you know, seniors don't drive is what we were told, you know, so I don't know. Got a couple seniors on the board, I'm a senior, I see quite a few seniors here. Did y'all take Uber today, or walk? So, I don't know. Again, several months ago, we were told there was a joint meeting of several of the taxing bodies, and they pretty much, we were led to believe that, oh, they kind of just approved the whole thing. First of all, that meeting of the other taxing bodies, they don't approve any, what they approve is the procedures were followed, that notification was, and other things were given properly. They don't approve of the TIF. In fact, I talked to one superintendent, school superintendent, who said they abstained from the vote. So it wasn't unanimous, and I believe he said it was another person that abstained from the vote from one of the taxing bodies. So again, you know, a little more, you know, bait and switch. And also, a lot of these properties that they're developing are, you know, medical, parking lot. So you not only, you don't get the TIF increase in value, you're not getting anything, you know, out of the, well, you're getting property, but you're not getting sales tax or anything from
Thanks, Jen.
parking
lots.
It's the 3 minutes, sir.
So I have another acronym for TIF, taxing and financing. I consider it tax increases forever, because that's what it's developing in.
Thank you. We have one more, actually a couple more. Muhammad Sakina.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I am a resident of Oakland, and I have just one small suggestion. I don't know, I hope it will be studied. We would like to have like a walking area, a street which is closed for the cars, just for walking, like the one in Niverville and the one in Lagrange. It will be a touristic street with no cars enter, just restaurants and everything from the sides. And so it will be a very nice recreation area for the residents of Oakland.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we're trying to do that by the train station, ultimately, the
Yeah.
area between the train station and the parking garage. Right now, there's a street, we're trying to get that ultimately closed off so pedestrians can enjoy it. You could have musicians there and,
And restaurants,
Yeah.
festivals. And
yeah.
yeah, it will be very nice. Yeah, we enjoy that also.
So we're trying.
Yeah,
Thank-
yeah. Thank you very
Love
much.
the idea, too.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Oh.
Thank you. Sue Andrews. Sue, you're talking about the anthem signage ordinance. Hi, Sue, nice to see you again.
You as well, Mayor Berry.
Thank you. And could you let us know if you live in Oak Lawn, please?
Yes, my name is Sue Andrews and I live in Oak Lawn. Members of the board, I'm here this evening to speak about ordinance 17-18-70, intended to grant a special use permit for a monument sign for Grace Point Place. This ordinance is a direct result of allowing a commercial facility to be built in an otherwise single-family residential neighborhood. Let's address the findings of fact as stated by the petitioner. Item 1, the petitioner states that due to its location and residential feel, it needs to distinguish itself from the other residential uses in the area. They're trying to distinguish a 43,000 square foot, two-story facility that sits on a 2+ acre parcel from the adjacent single-family homes that are around 2,000 square feet in size, sitting on 0.2 acre lots. The petitioner also states that signage for this type of facility is allowed outright in other zoning districts where the use is permitted outright. Area residents asked Anthem to locate their facility in another location that was properly zoned to allow such planned usage without the need for variations. Anthem knew they were seeking to build in a PUD R1 zone, and yet they knowingly chose to build elsewhere. Not to build elsewhere. Item 2, the petitioner states that the signage will inform the neighborhood and larger community of the development and the resources available to them through this facility. The residents of the PUD R1 neighborhood are already well aware of the facility and the purpose it serves. The neighborhood in question is located in a dead-end area served by residential side streets that do not lead anywhere other than the primary places of residence. When the special use permit for this facility was approved In 2016, it was repeatedly stated that there would be no increase in traffic, that this facility sadly does not receive many visitors. The internet seems to be a better way to spread the message without placing what is essentially a billboard in a residential neighborhood when such action is prohibited. Item 3, the petitioner cites the site location and building configuration as being unique circumstances not caused by their own actions. The petitioner repeatedly referenced their proprietary 34-point site selection criteria that identified a location for their single-story facility. The initial site had poor soil and was in a FEMA floodplain. Rather than look elsewhere, the petitioner opted for an alternative adjacent site located mostly outside the floodplain, rotated the building's orientation, and made it 2 stories instead. The petitioner cites existing monument signage along Central. How that existing signage came to be is unknown. The volume of traffic and rate of travel posted at 30 miles per hour along Central Avenue seems to justify the need for such signage. Regardless, no such condition exists along 101st Street, and once again, this facility was promised not to generate traffic on the residential side street. Furthermore, the PUD-R1 neighborhood residents also suggested that Grace Point Place be built on Central Avenue rather than a full block west, but were rebuffed by the petitioner. Item 4, the petitioner states that lighting will be limited to non-daylight hours and no negative impacts are anticipated. I would state that there might be a safety concern given the size of the monument sign combined with the fact a setback variation was already granted that moved the building 5 feet north, closer to 101st Street. Impaired sight lines for vehicles exiting the facility could possibly endanger the safety of those walking or driving east along 101st Street. Furthermore, where are the photometric studies that were completed for this facility? The facility itself has substantial exterior lighting, far more than any other residence in the area has, would require, and likely would be allowed to have. Visitors, delivery services, and emergency services should have no issue figuring out that the large, well-lit, 2-story, 66-unit building is the memory care facility and not accidentally go to the neighboring single-family homes instead. It's laughable to think otherwise. In closing, no other residents in the PUD-R1 is allowed to advertise, and the applicable zoning regulations clearly prohibit that. The monument sign being sought is nothing more than a billboard for Anthem Memory Care, containing their name and brand identification. It reflects nothing of what was the essence or character of the otherwise single-family residential neighborhood it has in. And if this monument sign must go up, I respectfully request that all Anthem Memory Care branding be removed, corporate name, logo, etc., and be replaced with something in line with the Oaklawn community this facility will allegedly serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. And we have Chuck Dinolfo next, our final commenter. Hi, Chuck.
Hi, my name is Chuck Dinolfo. I do live in Oak Lawn, and I'm speaking against Ordinance 17-1870 for granting the special use for the signage for Anthem Memory Care as well. The neighborhood has already been impacted by the construction of what is basically a commercial facility in our residential area. The sign narrowly approved by the Plan Commission is, for all intent and purposes, a commercial sign, dimensions better suited for exposure and identification on a main thoroughfare. The identification could be easily accomplished by, first of all, using the existing building to put the signage right directly on the building. As Sue had mentioned before, the building already extends 5 additional feet into the in the setback requirement. There is a section on the building that's perfect for identifying it in 3 directions, which is the directions that they're looking to expose. Okay, or the identification could be cut back in size. The signage of the design could be the same. It's a beautiful sign. They did a nice job on the design. However, it would do the exact same job at 50% of its current size. So those would be my recommendations, and I request that this petition be denied and resubmitted in some format more appropriate for the location. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Item 4 is conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone have a conflict to disclose with any item on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, We're gonna move on to item 5, swearing in of the firefighter paramedic in the Oaklawn Fire Department.
Come on up, Brenda. Oscar, do you have the mic or? I need it. You hand me that mic. Thank you. Hello, Brendan. This is quite the exciting evening for Brendan here and our Oaklawn Fire Department. Fortunately, I've known Brendan and his family for many, many years. And I hate to do this to you, Tone, but a couple weeks ago, we were at a 50th reunion for my husband's grammar school, and Tony Burns was his classmate, so we had a great night. And anybody that knows anything about Brother Rice High School, the name Tony Burns comes up. So if you're anything like your dad, Brendan, we're sure lucky to have you. And he's my neighbor now. Raise your right hand. And also his lovely wife Joyce and Lauren's my good friend. Hello, Nadine. Okay, just repeat after me. Okay. Go slow. I, Brendan Burns,
I, Brendan Burns,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the position
to the position
of firefighter paramedic
of firefighter paramedic
in the village of Oaklawn, County of Cook,
in the village of Oaklawn, county of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the
And the-
United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of firefighter paramedic
of firefighter paramedic
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Brendan. You get to sign this.
Very good.
You want to talk?
Oh, no, I just want Yeah, sure.
No escape till you sign.
Just like it's there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Okay, congratulations. And if the family doesn't want to hang around, we certainly understand. This is a good time to escape. We're very happy to see you here, though. Thank you. Thank you.
What a family. Great people.
Okay, item 6 is
Seeing you
resolution.
guys.
Thank you. Item 6 is Resolution 17-1863, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement pertaining to the Oaklawn Emergency Dispatch Services between the Village of Oaklawn and the Village of Alsip. I'd like to get a motion on this item, please.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Warder made that
Second.
motion, seconded by Trustee Stalker. I'd like to call up Diana just to talk about this a little bit. Diana Tusignant is our Director of Emergency Communications. And most of you have seen her before. Hi, Diana.
Hello, Mayor. I'd like to start by recognizing some of our guests here from the village of Alsip. I'd like to welcome Mayor John Ryan, Police Chief Jay Miller, and Fire Chief Tom Stasinski. So tonight, our board will be voting on the acceptance of the Village of Alsip into the Oaklawn Regional Emergency Communications Center as one of our subscriber members. For those of you who aren't aware, the state of Illinois passed a consolidation law that required the entire state to consolidate their dispatch centers into larger entities. And in the Cook County area, that population was 25,000 or under had to consolidate. The, the village of Elsip had a difficult decision to make. There are several centers that they could have had, potentially consolidated to. That decision is difficult in selecting a center because it needs to meet the needs of their residents, and also to their first responders. During the last couple years, I've been involved with many discussions with their board members, with their police and their fire chiefs, and we've created or started a good relationship, and we're building on that. So we are very pleased and thankful that LSIP gave us the opportunity. They did select the Oaklawn Regional Communications Center to consolidate with, and I'm very excited to announce that they'll be part of our team. I know that our dispatch centers will strive to, as they do with everyone else, we provide excellence. We'll provide the highest level of service to LSIP, to your residents, and to also provide in what we do for our current members. So I'm very pleased that we're able to have this team come together, and I'm hoping that the board accepts them into as a member.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Flip, care to say anything, or just we're happy you're here? You're welcome. Come on up, Mayor. Welcome to Oaklawn.
Again, my name is John Ryan. I'm Mayor of Alsip, and really, I can't say enough of the professionalism that's been extended to our community and how patient your organization's been with us as well, too. As Diana said, we've had a lot of presentations made to our community, and right now, consolidations, it's a big thing in the state of Illinois. Everyone's trying to find ways to, obviously, in the state level, we all know their situation. They're trying to save monies. They've mandated that you need at least 25,000 residents. We've got 20,000. We came up a little bit short. We did reach out to a few other communities, but nonetheless, I'm somewhat conservative. We spent a lot of money a few years ago on our 911 center, and I was telling Diana tonight, we even gave it an identity and whatnot then too. It was ACOM, and I think the world of the employees that we have working for us as well then too. But I believe this is a great situation that we have to emerge with Oaklawn in this situation. And fortunately, I mean, we've been blessed as well. Even just recently, I was explaining to your chief a little bit ago that a few weeks back, there was an unfortunate situation where there was a robbery in our town, and fortunately, we're on your same radio band right now, and your officers did a great job picking up on a suspect getting away, and fortunately, that person was apprehended and held accountable for what they did. A man died in the robbery and so forth. So, I mean, it's a good relationship. There's not a lot of technicalities involved as far as radios and this and that, but again, it'll be a change for our community as well, especially for our officers with police and fire. We had many presentations and everybody had a good one, but we have a lot of confidence in Diana and your group, and we look forward to our relationship with that then too. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, if I could ask you to stay up there for one more second. Mayor Burry and board and Mayor Ryan and Chief Miller, I would be remiss after what you shared regarding the incident of cooperation between Alsip Police, Central Dispatch, your dispatchers, and our police, if I did not mention what I observed this morning between 9:30 and 10 a.m. There were 4 adult perpetrators involved in a theft at the Home Depot in Alsip. Rather fast-moving incident. Your dispatcher was communicating with our central dispatch, and your officers were in quick pursuit, teaming up with the Oaklawn officers. I observed nothing but professionalism on the part of the Alsip police officers, the Oaklawn police officers, as they very calmly handled 4 adult perpetrators that did not initially pull over. They continued to evade, and the officers handled it professionally, without further incident, without danger to any Oaklawn or other residents who were traveling northbound on Cicero at about 104th. They proceeded to take the appropriate steps, bring the witness to do an in-field identification, and all 4 were quickly identified, arrested, and taken into custody by the Alsip police with the assistance of the Oak Lawn Police. I salute every police officer and every dispatcher who was involved in an incident, did an outstanding job. You'd be proud and feel safe in your community. I believe these individuals were on a spree to do other incidences, and they had just started in Alsip, and what the result would have been without quick professionalism on the part of your men. So I applaud you, Mayor, applaud you, Chief Miller, and thank you for protecting all the men and women in our communities. Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Thanks for the comment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, we're all safer when we work together, and it's a perfect example. Okay, we're gonna call that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan,
Yes.
Porter,
Yes.
Trustee Stride,
Yes.
Trustee Stalker,
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mayor and Board.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Welcome.
Mayor, you joined the best.
Welcome.
Item 7 is approval of the meeting minutes of the closed meeting minutes, 2017-10, dated September 26, 2017. May I have a motion, please, on item 7?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Stalker made that motion,
I'll second, Mayor.
seconded by Trustee Vorder. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan,
Yes.
Trustee Vorder,
Yes.
Trustee Stride,
Yes.
Trustee Stalker,
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 8 is approval of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting minutes 2017-17, dated October 10th, 2017. May I have a motion on item 8, please?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Stalker made that motion.
I'll second, Mayor.
Trustee Vorder, second. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan,
Yes.
Trustee Vorder,
Yes.
Trustee Stride,
Yes.
Trustee Stalker,
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 9 is new business by village trustees. We're going to start in District 2 today. Trustee Oliniechek.
It's that time of year again. My not-so-favorite four-letter word, snow, is inevitably going to hit sometime, hopefully not a lot. But we do have our annual senior snow shoveling program sign-up, which will begin November 1st and run through November 24th. The program is designed for senior citizens and disabled residents who have no help from family, friends, or a snow removal service. You can sign up by either calling 499-7884 and leaving your name, number, and address, or you can go into email and email seniorsnowshovel@oaklawn/il.gov to register. This is an all-volunteer program. I know that every year we end up getting more people in need than we have volunteers, but somehow we end up getting everyone taken care of. It's a very simple premise. We look for volunteers in the neighborhood. We try to use mostly kids, but we are finding that there are adults that are willing to go out and shovel snow. And once you're assigned a senior, we ask the seniors to be patient, because once the snow stops falling, we will get it done within 24 to 48 hours, depending upon how heavy the snow and our resources. So it's a great program. I know that it is kind of funny, because my son, who is a junior in college, who one of the initial members of the original senior snow shoveling program, told me that he will be back for Thanksgiving break, and he will be more than happy to help out with it. But it does a lot of good for the neighborhood, and if you're in need, please give us a call. If you have the ability to help out, please give us a call. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. District 3.
No new business this night.
District 4.
No new business, Mayor, but I do want to mention your award from the Vosh International Humanitarian of the Year Award. This is for your work in third world countries.
Thank you.
And your professional obligation. Very big honor, and it shouldn't go without being mentioned.
Thanks, Trustee
Congratulations.
Vorder. I appreciate that.
Welcome. That's all I
Yeah.
have.
District 5.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to stop into the police and fire open house that was held this weekend. I showed up late, but it was with a great deal of pride that I walked into that Station 3, which is right next to the firehouse. And every time I walk into a firehouse or a police station, I get the feeling that the people that we're dealing with here, the police and fire department that we have, are our neighbors. They're trying to treat us like neighbors. They're trying to protect us like our friends. And the professionalism that they show is something that we should really be proud of. And I just want you to recognize that that happens. In addition, we've had recent negotiations with the fire department. Their contract is up the end of this year. Initially, they had asked to start negotiations in the beginning of December, and luckily we moved that a little bit forward. So early in November, we're going to start negotiations, and hopefully we'll have fruitful talks with the fire department, and we can come to a speedy agreement. That's it.
Thank you. District 6.
Nothing this evening.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to item 10, the village manager's report. Larry?
No additional items, Mayor.
Thank you. Item 11 is Resolution 17-1864, resolution waiving the competitive bidding requirements and authorizing the purchase of one 2018 police interceptor from Hawk Ford.
Motion to approve?
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Gonna give it to Trustee Warder. Excuse me. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please. Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. 12 is Resolution 17-1865, resolution approving the purchase and sale agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn and Advocate Health and Hospitals Corporation. May I have a motion on 12, please?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Warder made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please. Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. 13, ordinance 17-1863, an ordinance of the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, amending the commuter parking tax increment financing redevelopment project area by removing property therefrom. May I have motion on 13, please?
Motion.
Go ahead.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Stalker made that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Trustee Warder is our second. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please. Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
No.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1. Thank you. 14, ordinance 17-1864, an ordinance of the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, amending the Triangle Tax Increment Finance redevelopment project area by removing property there.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Properly moved by, that was Trustee Warder, right?
Yes.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please. Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
No.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1. Thank you. 15 is ordinance 17-1865, an ordinance of the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, adopting the Patriot Station Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Plan and Project. May I have a motion on 15?
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Warder made that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion here? Let's call that vote, please. Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
No.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1. 16 is ordinance 17-1866, an ordinance of the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, designating Patriot Station redevelopment project area, a redevelopment project area pursuant to the Tax Increment Allocation Redevelopment Act. May I have a motion on 16, please?
Motion to approve.
Trustee Stalker made our motion,
I'll second, Mayor.
seconded by Trustee Warder. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please. Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
No.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1. 17 is ordinance 17-1867, an ordinance of the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, adopting tax increment allocation financing for the Patriot Station redevelopment project area. May I have a motion on 17, please?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Warder made the motion,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please. Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
No.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1. Thank you. Item 18 is the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine or have been brought forward at the direction of the Board of Trustees, will be enacted with one motion, If discussion's desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. I'm going to read these items. Item 18A is ordinance 17-1868, an ordinance approving certain traffic regulations, post-residential permit parking only signs on both north and south sides of 105th Place between Lamont Avenue and the alley west of Cicero Avenue, item TC 1255M. Item 18B is ordinance 17-1869, an ordinance amending the conditions to approval pertaining to the vacation of a certain portion of Narrow Street between 52nd Avenue and Tully Avenue. 18C is ordinance 17-1870, an ordinance granting a special use to allow for the installation of a project monument sign with lighting at 5701 West 101st Street. Anthem Memory Care is the petitioner. 18D, like David, ordinance 17-1871, an ordinance allowing the placement of a temporary marketing trailer at 5701 West 101st Street. Anthem Memory Care. 18E, ordinance 17-1872, an ordinance approving certain traffic regulations, post parking signs restriction parking to 20 minutes at 9446 South Raymond Avenue. Item F is resolution 17-1866, a resolution authorizing the execution of a second amendment to the Photo Red Light Enforcement Program Agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn and Red Flex. 18G, Resolution 17-1867, resolution approving the traffic logistics plan, allowing for the temporary creation of a two-lane roadway on Tully Avenue, north of 96th Street, Museum Drive. And 18H, resolution to approve the promotion of 3 Oak Lawn Fire Department personnel due to retirements. 18I is a request to hire 1 firefighter paramedic due to retirement and subsequent promotions in the Oak Lawn Fire Department. May I have a motion on 18, please?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Vorder made the motion,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes.
I would like to remove items C and D for discussion.
Okay, thanks. And do I need a vote on that? Oh, okay, thank you.
I'd like to remove H and I.
And H and I. Okay, any other comments? Okay, so we are going to vote on everything except C, D, C like cat, D like David, H like Harold, I like Indian. Those we're gonna take separately. Any further discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. 18C is ordinance 17-1870, an ordinance granting a special use to allow for the installation of a project monument sign with lighting at 5701 West 101st Street. Anthem Memory Care is the petitioner. May I have a motion, please, on 18C?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Trustee Vorder made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second, let's talk about it.
Okay, Trustee Stalker is our second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Trustee,
First of all, I think that the residents have made a strong case regarding the signage and the placement of the trailer, the marketing trailer. I think that, given the case that they've made, I would ask that this board send it back to the Planning Development Committee for reconsideration. I think the sign clearly is far too large and actually should not have lighting at all. And the parking trailer should be adjacent to the parking lot so that there is no infringement upon, or there's no additional parking on the street any more than there already is. So for those reasons, I would ask that we send it back to P&D for a rehearing.
okay, so you make a motion.
That's a motion, yes.
To send it back to
Second that.
committee. And that's made by Trustee Strite, seconded by Trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion? Let's call the vote, please. This is a motion to send to committee on 18C like cat.
Mayor?
Yes.
Clarification, just going to committee or to
So,
P&D?
Planning and Development Commission, excuse me.
And they'll be looking at just the size of the sign?
The size of the sign, the lighting, and the location near parking.
And are we voting on C or C and D?
Just C only.
Okay.
C
I'd like to send them both back.
Okay,
Let's take
well,
one at a
we're doing
Okay.
one at a time,
Okay.
please. Thank you. Okay, so,
One question, if I could.
sure.
Have they already seen it? I mean, are we going to send it back with some sort of directive? Cut the
They-
sign by 50% or something?
It came here through them,
Right.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, so this is a vote to send 18C back to planning and development to look at the size of the sign, the lighting, and the location adjacent to parking.
Okay.
Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan,
Yes.
trustee Vorder,
Yes.
trustee Straight,
Yes.
trustee Stalker,
Yes.
trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Thank you. And 18D, like David, is ordinance 17-1871, an ordinance allowing the placement of a temporary marketing trailer at 5701 West 101st Street. Anthem Memory Care is the petitioner. May I have a motion, please, on 18D, like David?
I'd like to make a motion to deny.
Okay, we have a motion to deny,
Second.
and seconded by trustee Straight. Any discussion? Okay, we're voting on the motion to deny 18D, like David. Let's call that vote.
Trustee Phelan,
Yes.
trustee Vorder,
No.
trustee Straight,
Yes.
trustee Stalker,
Yes.
trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1 to deny.
Okay, so now we're on 18H, like Harold. A request to approve the promotion of 3 Oak Lawn Fire Department personnel due to retirements. May I have a motion on 18H, like Harold?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Stalker made that motion,
I'll second it.
seconded by trustee Vorder. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, the question I have is, there's 2 submission sheets, Chief, and the 2 of them together look like 5 promotions? Or is this a duplication? I see one that says 2 promotions, and one that says 3 promotions. They're both dated the 24th. Okay.
Can you use the microphone, please, Chief, so folks who might be watching at home can hear as well?
I apologize. Trustee Phelan, I think it's a duplication. What we're asking for is 3 individuals are retired. Just want to promote 3 individuals up to positions.
But there's, the list that is Bill Fellman, Jim Jager, Jeff McCassin, Tim Radke, and Joe Maynor, all listed by name.
Yes.
So there's 5 promotions?
Let me take a look at that. I know that with the new format, there may be some confusions. I took a look at that. We can either.
Yeah, I was gonna say only because it says 3 on our,
Okay.
what we're voting on, so there's some discrepancy.
Okay, do you want me to take a look at that, or do you want to table it for tonight, or?
Why don't we hear,
Let him take a quick look at it and see.
yeah,
Okay.
let's hear item I,
Okay.
and then while Chief looks at it, and then we'll come back.
Then a motion to postpone H until we're finished with I.
They're together. They're basically this,
Well, okay,
because
so
the sheets refer to a promotion and a hire, and then another one.
let's just wait
Well, hold
until,
on, H. All right.
we'll have Chief take a look.
Okay, so we got swearing in of Brendan, and then on this one, we have Bill and Jim. And then on this one, we have same date.
So these individuals are going to be promoted?
They are,
No, they're requesting to be promoted based on the retirements.
I think you should probably talk in the microphone so everybody can hear.
I think they're just.
You had the question, right? I
I
just
want to make sure you got it
Yeah.
correct first.
you want to hear our brain trust over here, want to figure it out first.
So an open meeting.
Getting all mixed up.
I think it's this, 3.
Because this, I mean, we have to go off of the agenda, right? Not submission sheets, where they're inconsistencies.
No, we have to go off the pub,
We could amend the agenda by,
that's right.
yeah. So if it's really 5, we could do 5.
Mayor, I think it is 5. It's correctly. I think we submitted this one here, trustee Phelan, earlier, then we had additional retirements, and we submitted the second one, so I think we do have 5.
Okay.
Are these eligible for retirement, though? Because we had that recent incident in the last meeting where we had someone retire and a spike in pension. So I'd like to ask that as a resident.
My opinion is there's no way to prevent that. If somebody's eligible for retirement, it's not a good thing, nobody likes it, but how do you can't make somebody
Well,
get,
I think residents should know that it's,
yeah, welcome to Illinois.
Well, let's go back and look at item H. I'm gonna reread it. It's a request to approve the promotion of Oakland Fire Department personnel due to retirements. I'd like a motion to change item 3 to item 5 per chief.
Not item 3, it's from 3
It's,
firefighters.
Yeah,
to 5
change 3 to
firefighters.
5.
Bud had originally made the motion to approve. Will you amend your motion to make it 5?
Yeah, but I have a question. Is there any sense of urgency on this vote? Is 2 weeks gonna hurt anything?
More microphones.
It is not, but certainly we dealt with this in the past where we had a grievance because the promotions weren't made in a timely manner. It's certainly up to the board whether they want to decide to approve that tonight or wait for 2 weeks.
I'm gonna ask the opinion of the attorney. whether-
Madam Mayor, can I just?
Okay,
thought you
we have a question from Bud to council, and then I'll call in you, Alex.
No, there is, the public is certainly on notice that the board was considering promoting at least 3 firefighters tonight. That the fact that 2 more popped up, were part of the board packet but not part of the agenda, I think is enough notice, so we can amend, but if you want, out of abundance of caution, want to table this to the next board meeting so it's properly notified, I don't think you're wrong in that either.
So it's our choice, so, Bud, did that answer your question okay?
Well, these are automatic promotions, right? We can probably approve 3 tonight and the other in 2 weeks. Is that correct?
They are automatic promotions, correct.
All right. I would suggest that we go off the agenda and approve the 3.
Okay, so.
That is the motion on the floor.
Okay, and trustee Oliniechek, you wanted to say something.
It's gonna happen no matter what.
Right.
Why wait? I think that it was an error that was caught by, or oversight that was caught by trustee Phelan. I think with the amended moving to 5,
So are you making that motion?
I'll make an amended motion to increase it to the 5 that are due for retirement and move forward with it. Or
Okay.
not retirement, for promotion.
One step
I'm
at
not
a
saying
time.
it. So we have a motion on the floor, a second during discussion. We have a request to amend that motion to 5. And do I have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Trustee Phelan is our second. Trustee Oliniechek made the original motion. Any further discussion? Okay, let's call that vote, please.
Gotta look at a little okay. Trustee Phelan,
Yes.
trustee Vorder,
Yes.
trustee Stripe,
Yes.
trustee Stalker,
Yes.
trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So then we have 18I, a request to hire 1 firefighter paramedic due to retirement and subsequent promotions in the Oakland Fire Department. May I have a motion on I, please? 18I.
Move to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Phelan made that motion. Do I have a second? Trustee Stalker is our second. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan,
Yes.
trustee Vorder.
Yes.
Trustee Stripe,
Yes.
trustee Stalker,
Yes.
trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And we're on 19, Village Clerk's Report. Jane, 19A.
All right. Approval of semi-monthly disbursements, number 2017-20D, dated October 24th, 2017, in the amount of $1,115,799.96.
Thank you. May I have a motion on 19A, please?
Motion to pay the bills.
Thank you, trustee Vorder. Any second?
Second.
Thank you, trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan,
Yes.
trustee Vorder.
Yes.
Trustee Stripe,
Yes.
Stalker,
Yes.
trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Motion passes. Couple more things. On Saturday, November 11th at 11 a.m., VFW Post 5220 will host a ceremony in honor of our veterans. The ceremony will take place at the Veterans Memorial on the Village Green, 94th and Cook. Please come out to support our veterans. And I just want to shout out a congratulations to St. Catherine of Alexandria Parish. They're having their 60th anniversary next month, and there's a nice dinner going to be held at Gaelic Park. And anybody interested, you can call 708-425-2850. And that's just the beginning of many nice events this year for St. Catherine's. And lastly, I was not at the last meeting because I was at the annual Clerks Conference down in Springfield. for continuing education. I did receive a full scholarship for the classes. I applied for it. And the networking with the clerks is just priceless. So brought a lot of knowledge back to Oak Lawn. Thank you. Thanks for the support from the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Item 20 is Village President's Report. We have a little bit of confusion on this agenda item. We have a Fair Housing Commission appointment. I'd like to promote appoint Mary Ellen Stalker, reappointing her. May I have a motion on 20A, please?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Phelan made that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Trustee Border is our second. Any discussion?
Yes. I would like very much to support my wife, Mary Ellen, but because of ethics rules, I will recuse myself. Thank you.
Good to explain it beforehand.
Don't vote no.
Yeah. Now, Mary Ellen has served on this since the inception. How many years?
Over 25 years. She was
Yeah.
appointed in 1991.
Yeah, she was 4 years old.
And she's been the chairman ever since the beginning.
Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Border?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker, you're abstaining. And Trustee Oliniechek.
Of course.
Motion passes 401.
Thank you. Our Historic Preservation Committee appointments, I am asking for the reappointment of Deb Fagan, Mark Hochsprung, and a new appointment of Peg O'Neill Janik.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Thank you. Do I need to
Second.
do those individually, Paul? Okay, so we had a motion by Trustee Warder, seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Border?
Yes.
Trustee Strite?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And Deb, that'll help you guys a little bit. I know you still need more, but we're looking to restructure a lot of these, and this'll at least get you going, so. Item 20C, I'd like a motion to postpone or just table it. We're not quite there yet on that. May I have a motion, please?
Well, Madam Mayor, I do, you had mentioned that there'd been an idea talking about reorganization, looking at the different committees that are out there trying to,
Right.
take a look at some of the committees that really aren't doing any working,
Correct.
and then try to get some, consolidation. And I just wanted to see, I think Trustee Phelan, had you put some ideas together on that, and do we have an update on where we're at with that?
Yeah, I just mentioned that, like the trustee committees, I looked at our ordinances, and we still have, I think Oak Lawn Fest is on there. We haven't had Oak Lawn Fest in 25 years. So probably a good time to take a look at it on a
Yeah.
macro level, commission by
Exactly.
commission. Do they serve the purpose? Have things changed? Some things certainly have. And then I looked at there's a top 10 communities in America of like-sized population, Oak Lawn, Texas, Tennessee, all over, and just kind of compiled what they have on their sites and put it into a document. The mayor and I kind of reviewed it, so she's going to roll it out, and then everybody hopefully can make some input.
Yeah. I think, we want to look at the bigger picture globally of where we want the village to be going, and, the lifeblood of our village is actually our committees and commissions, and that's really where, yes.
I strongly recommend doing just that. We reconstituted the Local Business Support and Development Commission. We had our first meeting a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing how much interest there is and excitement about doing something for the businesses we already have in the village of Oak Lawn. The people that are on the commission are ready to go to work, and I'm really looking forward to working with them, and I think these other commissions should be relooked at as well. So I agree wholeheartedly.
Thank you very much. And-
One last thing to add, if there's any input or help needed, I'd love to get that, because it seems like a
Right.
low-hanging fruit, something we can get done and get it done fairly quick, and hopefully start the new year out with a restructured committee.
Yeah, it'd be great. And, all the residents who feel powerless to make a difference in your community and you're looking to get involved, please reach out to us. Let us know you're interested in serving. It's a thankless job, and frankly, you get criticized for even just showing up sometimes, but it's still worth doing. It moves our village forward. So the item we have to vote on, however, is item 20C. I'd like a motion to postpone.
Motion to postpone.
I'm going to give that to Trustee Oliniechek, seconded by Trustee Border. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please. Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, and that's all I have. Under general village matters, I had some requests to make our trick or treat hours more in line with our surrounding communities. The board was not unified one way or another. People didn't really feel strongly. What I would suggest is we put on the agenda for August maybe, or July next year to have a discussion on it and not have confusion at the last minute. So it's 3 to 8 this year, so.
I'm going to tell you the last time we tried to do something like that.
I
we had
know.
Upheaval here, and
Yeah,
I had Dracula over there threatening me, so I don't know if that'd be something we want to do.
well, it just, people have asked, for that discussion, so. But the time to do it, I don't think is October. I think it's time to do it is when it's not coming up real fast, and we could hash it out. So if anyone wants to put that on the agenda, so, okay. Council has told me on item 21, I could read just the dates, but to be honest, that involves skipping around more, and I think I'd screw it up, so I'm just gonna read it. I know it's,
I've been listening.
I just can't jump around. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta read it.
14th, April 18th.
Well,
June
Mayor, would you
14th.
take this or the next time you could just play the tape?
I'll highlight it, just the dates I gotta read this time, but I try to type that thing.
Yeah.
So,
Or reprint all these minutes.
I know. So item 21, executive session 2017-12, for the purpose of, 1, reviewing the approval of closed meeting minutes 2017, 11 dated October 10th, 2017, reviewing the release of minutes of closed meetings from June 14th, 2010, number 10:08, April 18th, 2011, 11:06, June 14th, 2011, 11:09, July 2nd, 2011, 11:11, August 9th, 2011, number 11:12, August 30th, 2011, 11:14, September 13th, 2011, 11:15, October 11th, 2011, 11:16, November 21st, 2011, 11:18, December 13th, 2011, 11:20, January 10th, 2012, 12:01, February 14th, 2012, 12:04, February 28th, 2012, 12:05, March 13th, 2012, 12:06, April 10th, 2012, 12:07, April 4th, 2012, 12:08, May 8th, 2012, 12:09, May 13th, 2014, 14:04, June 10th, 2014, 14:05, February 25th, 2015, 15:02, March 10th, 2015, 15:03, March 24th, 2015, 15:04, August 11th, 2015, 15:06, October 13th, 2015, 15:07, November 24th, 2015, 15:08, January 12th, 2016, 16:01, May 24th, 2016, 16:05, July 12th, 2016, 16:07, August 9th, 2016, 16:08, September 13th, 2016, 16:09, 27th of September 2016, 16:10, October 25th, 2016, 16:11, November 22nd, 2016, 16:12, December 13th, 2016, 16:13, January 10th, 2017, 17:01, January 24th, 2017, 17:02, February 14th, 2017, 17:03, April 11th, 2017, 17:05, April 25th, 2017, 17:06, May 23rd, 2017, 17:07, June 13th, 2017, 17:08, and August 8th, 2017, number 1709, and number 3, pending litigation. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion.
One mistake.
I know.
Second.
I'll have to reread it, Tom.
Yeah, do that, Mayor.
Second by trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please. Trustee Phelan? Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna clear the room at this time, and thank you all for being here. And we go into executive session.